6:18 and time now for What's Trending. A fearless pilot takes to the skies, but only just barely, and ends up landing in the record books. Watch a pilot squeeze a speedy plane through a tight tunnel near Istanbul, setting a world record in the process. According to pilot Dario Costa, no one had ever attempted to fly through a tunnel before, which would make this harrowing feat a first. Well, unless you count that guy from Indiana Jones, I guess. But that didn't exactly work out. And after more than a year of careful preparations, Costa successfully flew a stunt plane through the tunnel, stretching more than a mile long. He kept the craft along in the tunnel with only about 13 feet of space from the wingtips to the walls. And when it was over, the pilot and his team had set a new world record. So how about that? What a crazy idea, though. Who wakes up in the morning and thinks, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fly my plane through a tunnel, Devin. And just seeing that footage, it was almost like a GoPro, you know, on the plane. You could see it just barely almost touch the walls.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, that's like, you need great precision there to really be able to do that. Yeah, I'm sure he was like white knuckled the entire
Probably.
That intense focus there you saw in the video, it's like,
yeah, a little freaky.
It's just really freaky, but he pulled it off. You can tell the celebration in the video at the very end too.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to celebrate there. And speaking of celebrating, today's you can raise your glass because today is National Beer Lovers Day. Unfortunately, I don't have any beer, so high five to beer.
Yeah, there we go.
High five to that. So the origin of brewing beer actually predates recorded history. Beer is a well-known part of American history. Virginia colonists brewed beer with barley, malt, and hops, and George Washington recorded a recipe for brewing beer in his notes. Whether it's an IPA or a PBR, you can celebrate the day on social media and photos of your beer, a choice with the hashtag National Beer Lovers Day. And I know many people do enjoy beer. That's an obvious statement because we do live in Wisconsin, which is pretty much I guess it's safe to say the central point of beer in the United States, as well as cheese and cheese curds, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely. Okay, I have a question. Do you think that people are allowed to celebrate with like seltzer or Mike's today, or is this day just for beer lovers?
You know, that's a tough one, no, because I'm sure some people would just say beer only, but there are those like me that can't handle beer well. It just doesn't taste right in the taste buds. Or like I know my dad will always say, who's watching right now, it's an acquired taste.
It certainly is. It definitely is.
And I'm like, it tastes disgusting, and that's putting it in nice terms that I can't use on the air.
You might not have had a beer that you like, though, because there's some beers out there I'm not a fan of, and other beers I think are great. So
what are some beers you don't like?
I'm not a big fan of Pilsners. I've been experiencing that lately. Every one I've tried, I just really don't like. But
I tried Busch Light and Bud Light. Yeah.
Okay, that I can agree with you on.
Thumbs down there. I'm like, how do you like this stuff?
Well, maybe you could wash down this next story with some beer because it's a little crazy. So how many chicken wings can you eat? If you think polishing off a single order is impressive, think again. Because the winner of Sunday's National Chicken Wing Eating Championship ate the equivalent of 25 orders of single wings in a matter of minutes. It's been 2 years since Miki Sudo took part in a wing eating contest, yet she still beat out her competition, Joey Chestnut, by just 2 wings. It was a dramatic afternoon at Highmark Stadium. Judges had to do a recount, and it came down to this. Miki ate 246 wings, and Joey right behind her at 244. Ooh. How do you eat nearly 250 wings, Devin? I don't get it. Also, these aren't the biggest people out there either. They look like pretty normal size people, and so for me to see them eating that ungodly amount of wings is just like shocking to me.
I think ungodly is probably the best way to describe it. So it makes you think of the hot dog eating contest too, and it's like, how?
I don't get it.
You're at a loss for words, though, because it's like, how can you get that much hot dogs or that much wings down your stomach? And I'm sure there's probably some vomiting involved with that afterward, too. The stuff you don't hear afterward, probably, but...
Better out than in, I always say.
Okay, now you just stole that from Shrek.
Yeah, I did.
And this is my biased opinion, Shrek is a good movie.
All right, we'll just throw that in there, too.
So Peter and I's TED Talk for today, Shrek is a good movie.